Apollo 69.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hopefully this video has been edited. If there was an intro, you get it was edited. But anyway, today's video is kind of something a little bit irritating, but we're talking about this again. And if you guys are new to the channel, this is my 2003 Explorer Sport Track XLS. It's kind of the mascot of the channel. This used to be the mascot right here, but it moved to this guy after a while. And I'm talking about some issues it's been having lately and how it's screwing over my entire modification budget, which will be for lowering it and tune up and tuning the vehicle. So without further ado, let's get into that. So the first things to deal with is a noise. So for those of you who are new to my channel and did not know, my 2003 Sport Track has almost 222,000 miles on the clock, meaning that it's pretty old and the motor's pretty worn. So I'm kind of surprised it took as long as it did for any sort of things to be happening, but I'm getting kind of a rattling noise from the engine. I've checked the oil. The oil is not the problem. It has enough oil. It is good on oil. I'm more likely to believe that it is something to do with an exhaust hanger, a pulley, or a heat shield for the exhaust. And I'll see if I can replicate it on camera, which is why I have my keys with me, so I can start the truck and show you guys what's going on with that. But let's pop the hood and see if we can replicate it. Okay, so we're inside the truck and it smells really good in here because I had one of my favorite barbecue restaurants food earlier today. Got to treat myself a little bit. I've been doing good by not eating junk food for this year. So the hood's popped. We're gonna go ahead and open it up and see if we can solve this issue. Try to pinpoint it. I'm trying to open this in one hand, which usually never goes well for me. The noise is coming from this general area. You can't really hear up here. You can kind of hear it a little bit, but not too much. It definitely sounds like it's coming from in this area underneath my intake, which is what makes me believe it's a pulley, and there's not really very many pulleys. There's the tensioner right here that you can kind of see, which I believe is probably the most closest thing to my problem, as it's old and it gives quite a lot of flex when the engine's revved. Or the pulleys down in this area, which we're more likely to hear it the most, which would be your harmonic balancer and stuff down there at the bottom, which is where I believe this is coming from. Another possible thing would be a heat shield in this area, because you can kind of hear it back here as well. Don't worry, the puddle right there, that's power steering. I know that. It's a problem I'm getting worked on as well. Whenever I do this whole big project, I'm going to be replacing the steering rack, because that is the problem. It's one of the seals in the steering rack, so that's that. Don't worry about the puddles. I know what it is. And I'm working to fix it. But I'm going to see if I can kind of replicate it a little bit with the rev, because that's usually when it seems to come up. You really don't hear it until it hits around 2,500 RPM, unless you're paying really close attention at idle. Another thing this could be as well is the starter. Apparently, a spring in the starter can go bad and can rattle under acceleration, which is exactly what this is doing, but you can hear it at idle just a little bit, not too much. But we're going to try to recreate this a little bit here. You can kind of hear just a little bit over in this area. But I'll show you again with the tensioner why I think it's the problem. So there's my tensioner right here. I'm trying to get my finger too close to the fan here. If you watch when I rev it, it gets quite a lot of movement. So that's why I think it might be my tensioner, not as much as my bottom pulley, which I believe is the crank and harmonic balancer. Another option it could be is maybe my fan rubbing up on something, for all I know. I really don't know what it is exactly right now, but I'm pretty certain it's a pulley because like I said before in another video, if it were a timing chain, I'd be able to know. I mean, it would have failed a long time ago, because I mean, this isn't new. This has been making this noise for a very long time. It just seems to have gotten worse recently, to where I've been able to actually be like, holy crap, what is going on here? But that's kind of that, and it's added on to my project funds. If you don't know, I'm getting money back from my school. It gave me. This is why you should go to college. You get some money back from the school if you go get a scholarship and stuff, or grants or anything like that. So that's kind of where I'm paying for all this from for these next this next month's mods. I've got a whole tune-up coming soon. I'm going to be putting new spark plugs in, Iridium MDS, I think, spark plugs. The MGK wire set, because this is a distributor vehicle, so it has an electronic distributor, means it needs wires. We will also be dropping in whatever pulley it is that needs to be replaced. All of them have a little bit of play in them, which I know isn't great, but I don't have the money on top of what I have budgeted already, and I've been planning on this entire time. It's actually quite high. I think I've budgeted almost $900 worth of parts that need to be replaced and stuff like that. And lowering the truck has to be done eventually, because now I'm getting noises out of my rear shocks, which means my rear shocks are pretty much toast, and they've been toast. So it's a good thing I'm doing this now, because it's going to save me a lot in the long run. I'm not going to deal with crappy shocks. I'll have really nice aftermarket high quality shocks under here. But it is going to throw around some other stuff I had planned. For example, as you guys can see, I've got this cheap steering wheel cover on. I was going to replace it completely with Alcantara and stitch it in, do a homemade steering wheel cover like Chris Fix did. I was going to get my dash wrapped in carbon fiber. I was going to get new gauge faces. This also is going to be wrapped in carbon fiber. I was going to try to get a new center console because they're cheap and you can get them off a Crash XLT, which is what I was going to do. I was going to get an XLT center console. And a lot of other stuff I had planned just to liven things up on the inside as well. But it's looking like with this pulley situation, it's going to limit me a little bit, and I'm going to have to cut back on some of the stuff I wanted to do. And I've budgeted out, I've got about $100 left in my limits. So I've got to really just barrel down on what I need right now. And that's kind of that. I mean, unless I want to skip out on the steering rack, which is always an option, it's not something I necessarily want to do, because I want to have all my leaks sealed up. Because I mean, I'm probably trying to get it reviewed by some bigger YouTube channels. I haven't done a review on it myself yet, but there's reasons for that. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video, just kind of explaining everything. Along with the whole pulley situation and the noise it's been making. I'm pretty much certain it's a pulley. The only other thing I can think of is some sort of the heat shield for the exhaust coming off the headers. So those tend to come loose as well. It's a bunch of articles I've been reading on what causes a rattling noise, and it's definitely not a timing chain noise, because our other friend Michael, not the Michael with the Taurus, but the other Michael with the Audi, he has a timing chain rattle, and you can tell it's a timing chain rattle. It's very distinct. But this isn't rubbing against the timing cover at all. This is definitely down in the pulley area, and I'm pretty certain it's the tensioner, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new, subscribe, leave a like on the video. I was going to do a driving vlog, but I think I'm going to wait and do that once I get everything with this whole computer situation handled. Anyway, guys, thank you guys again. See you guys in the next video. We don't want drama, we just want commas. My team trying to eat, I'm thinking Benihana. Love or hate me, all that shit just made me stronger. We the new school, it's the alma mater. We don't want drama, we don't want drama. We just want the commas, we just want the commas.